Okay, good afternoon, students. Myself, Danishwari Nula. Welcome back to the classes which you are looking across on the module 3 here. Okay, so we have come across successfully with respect to our last class that we will be speaking in this particular module that is related to different types of models here. Okay, you are coming across with context model, you are coming across with system model, okay, then you are coming across with interaction model, okay, then structural model. Okay, these are all the things. So in that, with our last class, we have successfully come across to know what do you mean by system model as a term, and what do you mean by context model as a term. Okay, so whenever you are speaking across in terms of context, okay, so and we come across to know regarding the system boundaries there. So based on that, we ultimately define, that is through the context we come across to know what is our system boundary. Okay, and through that we come across to know that how many activities can be performed, or else how many processes can be performed. Okay, so for each of them I can call them as sub process which can be processed across for a respective system to be built there. Okay, now like for an example here, this is the context of a Menticare system wherein I just say that Menticare is a term which I am using here, but it is built up of all these subsystems into it. Okay, these are all subsystems which are to be included and which are to be processed further. Okay, so this is with the context of the Menticare system there. Then let us come across with the process perspective. So wherein we are getting to know that context models simply show the other systems in the environment, okay, not how the system being developed is used in that particular environment there. Okay, process models reveal how the system being developed is used in a broader business processes there. Okay, so how it is used in the broader business processes. So getting to know that is the process perspective there. Okay, then comes UML activity diagrams may be used to define business process models there. Okay, so activity diagrams are the one which will help you to know regarding each business activities which are happening across in each of the respective model there. Okay, so here you can just come across with the process model of involuntary detention. Okay, so now like for example in the same one with your Menticare system itself. Okay, so if at all there is an involuntary detention, so how it is performed. Okay, so here for this activity diagram, keep in mind whatever I have drawn here. Okay, it's neither an oval or it's neither a rectangular box. Consider it as an oval rectangular box there. Okay, so it's an rounded rectangular box. Okay, so whatever I have written across in this rounded rectangular box, consider them as all respective activities, or else you can consider them as all respective processes there. Okay, so it is like for example this happens to be your start and this happens to be the stop there. Okay, and wherever a rhombus is there, rhombus stands out for conditional statements there. Okay, so then here for this particular system, this is an activity which is required, or else this is an activity which is carry forwarded with this respective system there. Okay, so now like for example here you can just come across the start is confirm detention decision. Okay, if at all you are detenting, okay, if at all you are updating the respective registration of an respective patient there. Okay, you are confirming the detention decision there. Okay, so when you do that, so there are two kinds of activities which happen concurrently. Okay, so what are them? So to show those concurrent activities, a horizontal bar is being shown there. Okay, a horizontal bar, and through that there are two concurrent activities which are performed. What is that? The first activity is you inform the patient of rights. Okay, then you record the detention decision. Okay, so when you are recording the detention decision, it's a system which is connected with, and that is called out as Menticare there. Okay, so record detention decision and inform patient rights. Okay, so they both merge up together, and through, and again as here I have said across an horizontal bar, here comes a vertical bar. Okay, so this vertical bar gives you as an output either of them. Okay, so either of them is been taken under a decision maker. Okay, so that decision maker finds you that whether it is dangerous or is not dangerous. Okay, so if at all it's an dangerous activity, okay, so that is if at all the suffering is more or something like that, so at that time what will happen, you find a secure place. Okay, so if at all that secure place is available, or else if that secure place is not available, okay, if at all that secure place is available, you transfer to the secure hospital. If at all it is not available, you transfer it to the police station. Okay, so these are two kinds of activities which can happen when you find a respective secure place, and if you are unable to find it, what do you have to do, what is the next activity which has been done, and if it is found, what is the next activity which has been done. Okay, and if at all the things are like minor injuries or something like that, so it's not dangerous, so at that time what do, you directly admit it to the hospital. Okay, so when we do an admission to the respective hospital there, so what happens is you are being looked across by this particular admission system as an system, and this happens to be the input for your admit to hospitals there. Okay, so when you admit to hospitals, you transfer to secure hospital, then you transfer to police station. All of them are concurrent activities. Okay, that do not take place, or else that do not happen all at a time. Okay, so when all of them merge up togetherly, so what happens is you are either informing the social care, you are informing next of the kin, you are updating the register. When you update the register, ultimately your Menticare as a system is being updated there. Okay, all of them again looked across with an vertical bar, we look across with a stop there. Okay, so at that time these three activities are performed here. Okay, you inform on an social grounds that so and so activity of an such a person was happened. Okay, you inform next of the kin there. Okay, so who is the next immediate person to that patient or something, then you update your respective Menticare systems register there. Okay, these are all set of activities which are taken forwarded there. Okay, so what ultimately we want to focus here is processes. What are the processes which are happening, whatever are rectangular rounded boxes here. Okay, all of them are process. Okay, to make form these respective process, these are the other processes which will lead you towards these respective process there. Okay, so this is with your process model of volunteer detention there. Okay, then let us come across with an interaction model there. Okay, so what's this interaction model? Modeling that's user interaction is important as it helps to identify user requirements there. Okay, so then modeling system to system interaction highlights the communication problems. Okay, I'll just tell you in the next video regarding this. Okay, thank you.